The deadman, the Undertaker, felt the unnatural chill of the New York City evening seep into his trench coat. He hadn't meant to be here. One moment, he was in the dark sanctuary of his own choosing. The next, a bizarre, shimmering green portal spat him out onto a grimy side street in Manhattan. The air vibrated with a strange energy, and a distant, muffled roar like a crowd at a stadium drew him deeper into the alleyways. They found it in a decommissioned warehouse district. A massive, floodlit space had been cleared for an illegal, subterranean event known only as the Street Ring. The crowd was electric, not just with excitement, but with an almost palpable, humming power. In the center, a worn elevator ring was surrounded by scaffolding and barbed wire. And in that ring, he saw the impossible, a night of impossible powers. John Cena was already in the fight. The crowd chanted, "Husser! Loyalty! Freeze!" as Cena dodged a clothesline, his arms snapping out. A blast of sheer, cobalt blue frost erupted from his hand, enveloping his opponent, Samoa Joe, in a temporary cage of ice. Cena smirked, hoisted the frozen statue onto his shoulders, and delivered an attitude adjustment that shattered the ice and sent Joe crashing through a table outside the ring. Cena, the new Sub-Zero of the WWE, raised a defiant fist. The deadman could only watch, his confusion giving way to a dreadful understanding. This wasn't just wrestling, this was a nexus of power. Every one of the 30 legendary wrestlers competing here had manifested a distinct, fantastical ability. Randy Orton, the Apex Predators, ascent. Next, Randy Orton entered, his signature snarl firmly in place. His opponent, AJ Styles, executed a perfect peel kick, but Orton merely glowered. Suddenly, his eyes glowed with an amber fire, and he unleashed the full force of the Viper's vortex. Styles wasn't just struck, it was lifted, literally suspended 20 feet in the air, by an invisible, psychokinetic force. The crowd gasped as Orton twisted his wrist, and the helpless Styles was slammed back to the mat in a devastating aerial. RKO. The Deadman awakens as the next match was announced. The Undertaker felt a surge of energy through his own body, a power he hadn't fully embraced since the earliest, darkest days of his career. It wasn't just a gimmick anymore. Suddenly a massive, booming voice shook the warehouse. "He is here." From the farthest corner of the warehouse, the air thickened and turned a sulfurous red. The ground cracked, and a deep, orange-red light poured forth. A literal portal to a lower realm ripped open as the theme of Kane blared from unseen speakers. The big red machine stepped out, flames licking at his boots, eyes blazing with pure hellfire. He was the gatekeeper from hell, and he locked eyes with his brother. "Brother!" Kane's voice rumbled, the air heating up instantly. "I knew you couldn't resist the Battle Royale Ghost Fire and Final Judgment." The bell rang for the main event, a 30-man over-the-top Battle Royale with all the superpowered warriors. The Undertaker shed his coat, his eyes now glowing a terrifying, spectral white. He was no longer just a gimmick. He was truly the ghost of death. The ring became a chaotic spectacle. Rey Mysterio used his 619 Phantom Dash to become a blur of motion, phasing through clotheslines. Braun Strowman was a monstrous dynamo, creating small, localized earthquakes with his stomps. Seth Rollins wielded the Architect's Forge, conjuring walls of white-hot steel for defense. The Undertaker, however, discovered his new, ultimate power. Grappling with Sheamus, who was attempting a super broach kick, the Deadman looked into his opponent's eyes and unleashed a devastating, horrifying sight. A blast of pure, emerald green, spectral fire erupted from his mouth. It wasn't just fire, it was the ghost breath of 1,000 forgotten souls. Sheamus screamed, not from the heat, but from the chilling despair it inflicted, and stumbled over the top rope. Showdown of brothers as the field dwindled. Only 4 men remained. John Cena, Randy Orton, Kane, and The Undertaker. Cena tried to freeze The Undertaker, sending a wave of blue ice across the mat, but the dead man's dark aura instantly vaporized the ice on contact. Orton attempted a serial RKO, lifting The Undertaker high into the rafters. But mid-air, the Undertaker countered, wrapping his opponent in a chokehold that drew the Viper's very shadow out of him. Orton plummeted, defeated, and was eliminated. Finagi. It was the Brothers of Destruction. Kane, fueled by the fury of the abyss, opened a wide fissure in the mat, attempting to drag the Undertaker down. The Undertaker responded with a tombstone piledriver that didn't just slam Kane, but drove him into the mat, momentarily sealing the fissure. Cena, seeing his chance, rushed forward. "You can't, Barry Hustle," he roared, aiming a final, concentrated blast of absolute zero from both hands. The Undertaker stood firm, closing his eyes. "Terrain of the street, King." The deadman opened his eyes, and all the light in the warehouse seemed to be drawn into them. He unleashed a full, cataclysmic eruption of ghost breath. The green fire met the blue ice in the center of the ring, creating a deafening explosion of steam and power. When the smoke cleared, Cena was reeling, his frost power temporarily depleted. The Undertaker seized the moment, grabbing the exhausted Cena for a final, world-ending but instead of slamming him, the deadman used his full power to levitate Cena over the top rope and drop him onto the discarded bodies of their fallen foes. Tikra was silent for a moment, then erupted in a primal, terrified cheer. The Undertaker stood alone in the ring, the winner of the Street Ring Battle Royale. His power was absolute. He was the most feared, the most powerful. He was the Undertaker, the spectral king of the superpowered street ring. He picked up a microphone and simply stated, his voice a low, terrifying growl. "Rest in peace." The bell tolled once, a deep, resonant sound that echoed through the New York night, signaling the dawn of a new, terrifying dynasty. The deadman was home. Oh, it was just a dream. Oh man, what a night, the end.